So this is a tour of the Eccles Early Childhood Lab School. This classroom is our Grizzly Bear classroom, which is also the 4 and 5-year-olds. You can look at all of our areas.
I noticed the sinks are touchless.
They are. We like our automatic sinks, definitely. Yeah, we have our loft area, which they've done as a reading area. We also have our cozy corner with books and reading as well, so we kind of have double with that. And then the underneath is our dramatic play area for them to do, kind of our math and manipulatives.
That's a fun way to maximize the space too, because you have the library and dramatic play in a space that would only
just use one or the other. Yeah, we're pretty lucky with our space here, but yeah, it's
since it is
definitely
a lab classroom, you have the one-way.
Yes, yeah, all the one-way one-way glass. We'll go take a look at another room. Yes, child-side toilets with the half doors, so the children have privacy, but the adults can still monitor. It's just our multi-purpose room. Teachers have used that room for planning or staff meetings, things like that. Our resource room, a teacher office that they share. This is the 3-year-old room that does have children, so we won't go in that one right now, but and this is our 2-year-old classroom. So you can see all the same basic centers with art area, place for manipulative, sensory, reading and books, blocks, just all a little smaller. Yeah.
To bring nature inside.
Yes. Yeah, 2 of our rooms have plants, and the room next door has fish, so we want to try to keep those living environments going as well. Let's go look outside. So this is our nature-based playground, and we used Nature Explorer to kind of guide us in creating our centers and using all of these areas. So we have a gathering area. It really is more like a group time. Whatever type of thing you might want to do, we'll read stories out here. They've turned it into kind of a dramatic play area before. They had a little grocery store in there, things like that. This is our music area, with both some small and some things that stay year-round. These ones are beautiful sounding. Like those ones. And then we have our climbing area. They both climb. We actually added more rocks on this one because they kept wanting to climb up in between these 2 tunnels. So we made it more friendly for them to climb. And then all of our tunnels. This is an actual water pump that they have to pump to get water.
Is it on now?
No.
Oh.
No, we turn it off.
It's like, oh.
They would be using it if it were on now, and we have to. Yes, so this is a splash pad up here, and then this splash pad only drains at the bottom. So these 2 brick pathways are waterways. And so, watching them float sticks down, and we have little sandbags so they can block areas off, and it's really fun to watch them play with the water. For whatever reason, this is often our car wash, because we have some trucks that are like pushable, bigger trucks, and they always want to wash them. I don't know why.
Never wet early, right?
Oh, yeah. for sure. It has been off for many months.
So with this, does it have an underground little tank or something?
Yeah, it does. It has I think it's a 10-gallon tank underneath, but then that tank gets filled through the regular sprinkler system. So, but yeah, we realize that we have to think about when we want them not to use it and actually have to turn it off early so that it empties the 10-gallon tank. Like, wait, I thought I turned that off.
Splash pad, are these connected to the sprinkler system too?
Yes,
And are these
they are.
like bubblers type of thing?
Yep. We have several different options that are on here. So they have different types of, there's a rooster tail and a bubbler and several different things. They're pretty easy to change out. And we chose to do this from just our regular water system. It's not a recurring system. So we didn't want to have to worry about those aspects of it.
Are children allowed to drive through here when it's...
You know, we had not really thought of that until afterwards. That's one of those things we kind of learned. But most of the time, yes, they do.
I would totally do it.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, enjoy it, yeah.
And these really, were meant to just be the waterways. But one of their favorite things is to use these wheels and roll them down the tracks and see if they follow and which wheels stay on and which don't. It's really fun.
Pretty good physics explanation.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of STEM, it's like, okay, that wasn't what we intended for it, but great job.
Yeah, it really is a wonderful STEM environment in so many ways. But yeah, we love that element of it.
So this might be a good time to ask this question. Is it, okay, with I call these the hobbit holes.
It kind of does.
What challenges does that have? Does that make for monitoring?
So we specifically used larger tubes than what we had originally planned for, so that an adult can be in there. And so if you have people on multiple sides, you can see all the way through it. But yeah, it definitely is. One of those challenges. There could be a child that's hiding in there at cleanup time and avoiding cleanup. That's what they like to do.
So since this is a lab school classroom, I'm assuming there's probably multiple students, and so...
Yeah, we have students and our teachers, so our ratios are better than most. We're lucky that way. So we can have multiple people on this playground.
So that would be a consideration if somebody was thinking about building a outdoor classroom like this, thinking about the number of staff that they would have and sight lines.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, sight lines are definitely important to pay attention to as we look in the secret garden. There's kind of a hidden area over there too that behind our storage space, and so it is important because we realize we can't have only one person on this playground because you can't even see on the other side of the climbing hill. So if you know that you're going to want only one person monitoring, then you need to think about what, maybe we won't have a big hill or a climbing area.
Unless you're monitoring from on top of the climbing hill.
Yes, you could. That
would hurt interactions probably.
Yeah, for sure. I love our tree cookies. We actually just asked a tree cutting service to bring us pieces, and so we were able to do it pretty inexpensively. But the one thing that I love, we had a little gal that walked on her tippy toes, and she had been to her pediatrician, and they had given her special shoes to kind of help her and wanting to walk through on her full foot. Well, when she came out here, she absolutely loved these, and she would go back and forth, and it was the only place she didn't walk on just her toes. And it was really cool. We're like, wow, we even have occupational therapy elements in our program. So it's one of those pleasant surprises. And we have our art closet that specifically has paints and markers and all the things that you would want in your art area outside or indoors that we would have readily accessible. And then our chalkboard is also a magnet board, so we have more STEM and awesome fun things going on here. That was too steep. So we have several different types of ramps and balls materials that we love. We're kind of all about that STEM.
Looks like the sink is not connected to it.
It's not, but it actually just connects to like a bucket of water underneath. And so it's just when you want it only. Our sand area. This is our little secret garden in the spring. This is filled with tulips all across the back that are just so fun to see. And this tree, we specifically have cut one side so that they actually can be under it and feel like they're hiding. It doesn't have enough foliage that we can't see through it, but they still get that.
And I noticed some of the low bushes are some of the fragrant types of plants.
Yes, absolutely. So I should have pointed out, but right as we walk by the gathering area and dome, there's a lamb's ear, so it's soft to the touch. And then we grow mint and lemons, so they have those smells. We've stayed away from lavender because that attracts bees, so we haven't wanted too much of that. But we have rose bushes back in this area, and these are climbing roses here. So we do have to teach them the thorns will hurt you. So let's, we will tell them, please leave the flowers growing so everyone can see them. There's always someone that wants to pick the flowers, but we definitely look through that. And then around here we have our labyrinth. So this is our building area. We have some loose parts, with just sticks and larger sticks back here, and then building blocks, both big and small. And then our labyrinth, this year they grew tall enough that our 2-year-olds could hide in there really well. They loved it. And then we had to call our maintenance people and say, we need these a little shorter.
Tunnel behind you.
Yes, this is our willow tunnel, and it is fully growing and absolutely beautiful in the spring. So yes, go right ahead. There's a couple of little windows that they put in for us.
Oh,
This is our garden area. And we have the children help us from kind of beginning to end. Every year we will add soil or mulch or peat moss, whatever our master gardeners tell us what it needs. So we've kind of connected with people in the community to help us. And then they plant, they regularly water. We have like a water helper and a bug inspector to look for bugs. And then we do observational drawings of our plants as well with them. It's just really, really fun.
What seeds to plant?
To some degree. I mean, there are some that we will say that really doesn't grow well here, but they have. And like tomatoes, they might choose a big tomato, but we found the cherry tomatoes grow really easily and they love them, and so they can eat them. And that's probably one of the funnest things is we'll have a child that won't eat the tomatoes that come with the taco that it was from the kitchen, but they come out here and they grew the tomato and they want to pick it and let's make salsa with mine. And to watch that
Always tastes better.
Of course. And when you grew it yourself, it always tastes better. Somehow there's more pride in that. So some years we've had really great luck and some years we haven't. But it has been really fun, and we've like measured heights of plants and included that math and the growing that goes along with that as well.
Do you have students during the summer?
Some summers we do. So, we have children absolutely during the summer, always. We have some college students some summers. If you look at all the ground cover, you'll notice how many different types of surfaces there are to walk on. And that was very intentional too, that we didn't just have one type of surface. One mistake we made is this fence. We have the same lock design as our fences on the perimeter, and we were teaching them how to open and close it.
And some things you don't teach them that early.
Sometimes we don't. So we figured out a solution. We have carabiners on the other ones, so they don't work as well. But you know,
it's exciting that they recognize the connection. It's like, oh,
they absolutely did. They absolutely did. So, you know, we realized that there is maintenance each year, and sometimes that can be, some years it feels more than expected than others, but it is something that it does need that. We found that when we first did this, we mostly planted things that bloomed and were prettiest in the spring. And so now we have more fall blooming things as well, so that we have kind of more year round. I mean, here it is the middle of winter, there's nothing growing really, but it will be. So we definitely invite anybody to come call and have a tour in the spring or summer, because it's even more exciting out here.
I know that you share, there's the playground, the Head Start program.
Yeah, do you want to look at the other playgrounds?
You use that for like variation with the kids in your classrooms too?
Yes, we are really lucky. We have 3 playground areas, and so we have a rotating schedule. So a class will spend a whole week on this nature playground, and then they'll have a week where they're on the climbing playground, and then a week on what we call the grassy playground. So this is, you know, a traditional playground of what you would see, with lots of large motor opportunities. And then we have some music elements and a little bit of nature. This is kind of where it started before we had our great nature playground. And this space is definitely better for trike riding, you know, and we see that they use it more for that too. And then we have our large open space.
That's kind of a good point, that the behavior that children show or engage in probably varies by the playground.
It absolutely varies by playground, and it's amazing how different, and just the types of things that we can provide to them as well. You know, this is a great place for things like soccer, where other spaces wouldn't be as good for that. So it's really fun to see how they play on this space.
And the playhouse too is great.
Yes.
If I remember correctly, it likes to attract bugs.
Yes, it does. We regularly have to sweep it out. It's got leaves and all kinds of things. But it really is fun. This was actually made by the construction trades department.
Oh, nice.
And they had another purpose for it. And our assistant dean at the time had realized that it was just sitting there for a long time. So he asked, what is happening with that? And they said, if you pay for it to be moved, you can have it. So he did. Yeah, go right ahead. And right inside the door, you can stand and see the second floor right from there. And it's definitely strong enough for adults to go up the stairs and up into the top.
Little chimney is cute.
Isn't that fun?
Focus on monitoring issues, but
Yep.
there's staff available if there's the college students with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly why we keep it locked, so that it's only when teachers have the ability to monitor there that it's open and available to them. So, and then this is the college's community garden over here that they grow. Students can grow what they want there, and then the Thane Center actually grows some, and they have a food pantry for students as well, so they give them some of the fresh produce.
So I guess
as
on
well.
the upside of the kids learning how to work the latches, if they work the latches, they get into the community garden, not into a playground.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But like I said, we have locks on them now.